I did write a love letter to a girl when I was in first grade, and I didn't know what the fuck chick meant. This is really fucking embarrassing. Guys, I was in first grade and I wrote a love letter to a girl in my first grade. Actually, no, she was 2 years older. She was in fucking third grade and I was in first grade, which is bad because it might not seem like nowadays a 2 year difference is not that big. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm 31, dating someone 30, 2 years older, 2 years younger, it's not that big of a deal. But in first grade, that's the difference between reading, knowing how to read, and not knowing how to read. Okay. So when I wrote the love letter, it was bad. Okay. It was fucking bad. She's had 2 years of practice on how to read and how to write. This is my first go. Okay. We had just gone over, dear so-and-so, the main why I'm writing, body of the message, closing statement, and then the sincerely at the end. I just learned how to do that, but I still didn't know how to spell. I think in my message, I wrote, I think her name was Amber. I said, dear Amber, I really like you or something like that. And after I said that, I said, I think you are a chick. And then I said, the classic, like, do you like me too or whatever? Sincerely, Lord Athel. I said, I think you are a chick. Now, I had heard my brother say that before, like, yo, look at these chicks. I thought that meant like beautiful girl or like, beautiful girl. But it turns out it just means girl. So now here's where I got lucky, guys. That letter never made its way to Amber, okay? Amber never found it. Yes, that would have been very embarrassing if she found it, but guys, something 10 times more embarrassing happened. My teacher found the letter, turned it into the principal, and gave it to my mom, and they had to like sit me down and like explain like without like getting me in trouble at like how weird my letter was and that I can't just like give letters to girls like if I like them or something, and just like, dude, it was fucking awful. It was so, I poured my fucking soul into that shit, man. I poured my fucking heart out, dude. And to have to read that message, I thought chick was like, kind of like a bad, like kind of sexy or like kind of, you know what I mean? Like, so like when I heard my mom read that shit to me, I was like, oh my God, my mom knows I know about like sex and stuff, or like, oh dude, it was so bad. It was fucking awful. A part of my soul died that day. There's a reason I still remember that shit, man. Oh, it was fucking awful. But you know what? 3 years later, we TP'd that teacher's house. Yep, they were a real piece of shit. We did get our revenge, guys. We actually did. We TP'd the fuck out of their house. They lived in the same cul-de-sac as one of my buddies in kind of like a richer area, and we fucking annihilated it. We actually annihilated that house. So it was worth it. It was worth it. If my kid did this, I'm not sure I could read the letter back out loud without laughing my ass off. I hope it brought some joy to, even though I don't like get along with them, but I hope it brought some joy to my mom when I was a younger guy, because it was so fucking embarrassing, dude. Guys, elementary love, like falling in love when you're in elementary school, is so. It is. I mean, did you guys ever have like little crushes back in the day? You guys ever have like your little like obsessive crushes when you were in like first grade, second grade? Oh my God, it was a fucking mess, man. You had to gather a whole brigade of fucking first graders to like come around you and watch you say that like, oh, I really like you. That was the thing. Or like my buddy's first kiss, I feel so bad. My best friend's first kiss was in front of 35 children. 35 children all circled around him watching. It was like an event. It was at a Friday night football game, so all the parents are like watching the football game, and we all heard that Bryce and Cassandra were gonna kiss, so we all stood in a circle around him. 35 fucking kids, man. Yeah, this was just a few weeks ago, but yeah, it was fucking insane, man. It was fucking insane. No, I'm just playing. It was yeah, those younger loves, man. They're I remember I had this girlfriend in, I want to say about third grade. In third grade, and it was actually a long-term relationship. It was one of my longer term relationships for the time, being in third grade. It was about until the end of recess. Yep, it lasted from the start of lunch until the end of recess, and it was just magical, guys. We sat on a bench near each other.
Ayo, holy fuck, 17
Uh,
months of the castle. Year
uh,
and a half, baby.
hey,
Love
thank
you,
you so much,
props.
Knight. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, it was pretty long term, guys. I remember there was a butterfly flying, and she said, "Oh, look, like, oh, that's really cute." And I said, "Oh, thank God it's not a moth." And then she laughed. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. And then yeah, we got into a fight because I wanted to do practice my free throws on the basketball court instead of sit down with her. So I actually did leave in the middle of recess to go play basketball and practice my free throws. Because I mean, everyone knows the elementary school basketball hoops, they have double rims, so it's like super bouncy. So if you don't fucking practice, you're never gonna make one when the time actually counts. 'Cause, I mean, they just bounce off the fucking rim. So unless you're like gonna swish it, I mean, there's no shot. So I had to practice. But it's just, I mean, those little blips in time, man. Those really passionate loves. When you were when you're a young wee sprouts. They're magical, man. They're good times.